What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and blood sugar. Um, so I just got done watching the Cloverfield Paradox, and like many of you, I had no idea this film was being made. It wasn't on my radar. It wasn't on any of my lists. I literally, like everybody who saw it for the first time, it was during the Super Bowl, and I said, "The Cloverfield Paradox," and yes, I know my sugar is high. I watched the trailer, and I only watched it once during the Super Bowl, but the impression I got was that this movie is part of the Cloverfield universe, and it's going to, not 100% maybe, but it's going to kind of get the wheels moving for explaining the other universes. The film universe that exists in the universe of Cloverfield. So, before I talk about that, I love the first Cloverfield. Monster, Godzilla-esque, terrorizing New York City. Cool. Well, it's not cool in real life, you get the idea. Back when the movie came out, it was a found footage. It was one of the more original found footage films that I can remember seeing. And I loved it. I loved everything about that film. I loved the characters. I loved the design of the monster. I love how it's one of those movies where the military slowly throws more and more at it. And by the way, the first real time you see the military attack, right before HUD has to cross the street, fucking amazing to try out on your sound system. I still remember seeing that scene for the first time, being blown away. Partially because they were using weaponry that we don't really see that much in a monster movie. You know, we see tanks and we see people. Well, this one had, troop transports. It had there's a fucking Spirit bomber in it. Cool. There's the missile launching tank. I forget what the fuck it's called. Anyway, I love the first Cloverfield. To this day, forget the other two films. To this day, there's still speculation on what the hell it was. There's fan speculation. There's stuff that the marketing gurus at I think it's Bad Robot, and I forget the other company, want you to believe. It's talked about in the film that the Slusho company was doing underground demo work or mining, and that's what woke up the beast. Some people think it's from space because at the end of the movie, when they're out having fun, the couple that's in the film that you really do wish survived in that film, like that's a legit, like, damn. At the end of the movie, there's a satellite that comes crashing down, or something that comes crashing down. Some people think it's a satellite that has radiation that causes the monster to grow. Some people think it was the monster itself, and it grew in our habitat. No one knows, and no one's given a reason or an explanation. So, both 10 Cloverfield Lane and this film have the name Cloverfield in it, but both films, literally, if you got rid of the title and changed it to something else, and in the case of the Cloverfield Paradox, literally take away the last 5 seconds of the movie, they are not anything close to being in the same universe. They're not. 10 Cloverfield Lane, I love John Goodman. I thought the movie on its own, is there really a disaster outside? Yes or no, and then you discover what happened, and then the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie happened, and let's not talk about that. This movie, it's basically Event Horizon mixed with Mission to Mars, whatever, you get the idea. There's heavy science fiction, obviously. In the future, our fuel reserves are down to nothing, so we create this collider device that, if it works, will give us the keys to open the door for unlimited energy. And it doesn't work like they thought it would, so they're up there longer than they should have been, trying to figure out how to get it to work. Cool so far. By the way, the cast, I can't tell you the names of the characters other than the two leads, but they're adequate. It's talked about in the beginning of the film, but if we activate the collider, or whatever the hell it is, it might cause a rift in space and time and open up doorways to different dimensions. Okay. I'm a science fiction fan. I understood all of that as it was explained in the film. And, of course, shit goes wrong. Spoilers, by the way, real quick. They activate it, and it basically sends them to another, I guess you would call it a dimension or a mirror universe, right? Earth isn't there. Oh, fuck, what do we do? First of all, a movie like that, fine. Something different, I'm stuck on a space station, I need to get off of it. Okay, fine, Earth's right there, you stand a chance of living. The fact that the station is thrown spoiler again, you find out it's the opposite side of where Earth is, because in this universe there are like one-to-one opposites. Anyway, so they have to figure out what's going on, but at the same time, they're occupying another universe, right? So shit starts to go wrong. Again, spoilers. A dude's body is messed with. Something is like, basically, think of it like if you were to instantly teleport into another dimension. It's not like the movies where it's happy-go-lucky. Oh, you teleported, good to go. Kind of like Back to the Future pointed out. You know, you need to know where you're going backwards or forwards in time, because you might, you know, go back in time and drive through a wall that isn't here anymore. Or you might go in the future and you might spawn in, who knows? You get the idea. So shit goes wrong, and it goes wrong really bad for a few people. And of course there's the cliche that, you know, there's a villain, but they're not really a villain, whatever. The movie, it's a decent film. Like, watching it out every step of the way, I was like, cool, alright, that's a little funky, but whatever. And then they show stuff on Earth happening, and there's giant monsters that we don't see, but you're hinted at. And it's like, okay, is it the Cloverfield monster? But that still doesn't make sense, because there was only one, and it was New York, so this isn't the same Earth, plus it's in the future. Whatever, okay, fine. Shit goes downhill for the station, and dude loses an arm. In a somewhat serious but funny way. Typical crew gets picked off one by one, and the villain pops up, kills someone, whatever. My main complaint about this film is what I touched on before. If you take away, and I'm going to tell you what the scene is in a minute, but if you take away the last 5 seconds of film, and you called it something different, would have been a totally different film. Would have felt different. Would have been a film that stands on its own. The last 5 seconds of this film, right? Because up until this point, I sat there every time something happened going, okay, where's the connection? Where's the connection? Where's the connection? I really thought that satellite thing that was going to come crashing to Earth was going to be the lifeboat at the end of the film, because the remaining crew launched. And I figured, okay, they got fucked up and got sent into a different dimension, our dimension of the first Cloverfield film, and back in time. Nope, that's not what happened. So they save the day, they activate the thing, it works, yay, there's only, spoiler again, there's only 2 of them left, they get in the lifeboat, they come crashing back to Earth, or, you know, descent, and literally above the cloud line, so we're talking seriously high here, a giant version of the Cloverfield monster, which I've looked at a couple different pictures of the Cloverfield monster compared to it in the film. It's definitely the same species. It's just obviously older and bigger. Way too big. Come on. But that's it. That and the Slusho reference are the only 2 real references to the Cloverfield universe. That's it. Don't talk to me about, oh, well, on the screen you can see the name of someone. No. Clear, obvious references and stuff that's referenced on IMDb and Wikipedia and the website for the film. That's it. That's it. That's your fucking reference. Like I said, if you took away the last 5 to 10 seconds of this film and called it something different, it's its own film, and it would have been something that you know what, at the end of the day, it's an hour and 50 minutes. I didn't waste my time. I had fun with it. Sure, there's some things that could have been changed, but overall it was pretty good. But the fact that they're marketing it as a tie-in or as something that's in the same universe as Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane, no, it's not. And this is what pisses me off, is that I hate it when they trick you into doing this. And you know what really pisses me off? The fact that they started making this movie before J.J. Abrams knew it was going to be a tie-in to the other Cloverfield film. Just like 10 Cloverfield Lane. So what happened was they were probably making the film, or films if you count 10 Cloverfield Lane, they were probably making them, and halfway through they were like, shit, we gotta figure out a way we need to recoup, we need to make some money from this. I know, let's say it's part of the same universe. Anyway, I just wanted to voice my opinion here. This video is 10 minutes, and that's 10 minutes too long as far as I'm concerned. So, go watch it. You know, if you're into science fiction, and I obviously ruined the movie for you, sorry, but I said spoilers. If you're into science fiction and you like the idea of a different take on astronauts being stranded or a different take on how do we survive, go watch it. Anyway, later guys.